is a man of war. The Lord is his name. And the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Gog, the land of Magog, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal, and prophesy against him, and say, Thus saith the Lord God, Behold, I am against thee, O Gog, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal, and I will turn thee back, and put hooks into thy jaws, and I will bring thee forth, and all thine army, horses and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sorts of armor, even a great company with bucklers and shields, all of them handling swords. Persia, Ethiopia, and Libya with them, all of them with shield and helmet. Gomer and all his bands, the house of Togarmah of the north quarters, and all his bands, and many people with thee.
The second woe is past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly.
For every battle of the warrior is with confused noise, and garments rolled in blood. But this shall be with burning and fuel of fire.
But I think it's more likely we're going to end up, if we end up in a war, a real shooting war with a major power, it's going to be as a consequence of a cyber breach of great consequence. And it's increasing exponentially, the capabilities. When I was with Mr. Putin, who has a real problem, he's sitting on top of an economy that has nuclear weapons and oil wells and nothing else. Nothing else. Their economy is what, the 8th smallest in the world now? Largest in the world? He knows he's in real trouble, which makes him even more dangerous in my view.
If someone intends to intervene in what is happening from the outside and creates unacceptable strategic threats for us, then they should know that our response to oncoming strikes will be swift, lightning fast. We have all the tools for this, ones that no one can brag about. And we won't brag. We will use them if needed. And I want everyone to know this. All the decisions have been made in this regard.
Now, there are growing concerns Russia could launch a nuclear attack within months. Russian officials have confirmed it plans to deploy its newly tested intercontinental ballistic missiles capable of reaching the United States by its autumn. It comes as top American officials visit Ukraine for the first time since war broke out. Joining me now, Sunrise Foreign Editor Dr. Keith Suter. Keith Suter, how serious is this threat of Russia launching a nuclear attack? This is taking us back to the Cold War, the Cuban Missile Crisis, is it?
That's right. So Mr. Putin is taking us back to an earlier era of warfare. We all thought that we were moving out of the nuclear weapon era. Clearly that's not the case. He's already had an impact with his nuclear weapons because, for example, NATO countries do not want to have a head-on collision with him because they are worried about the existing nuclear weapons, let alone the new ones. So Putin having nuclear weapons has certainly had an impact on the war in Ukraine because of his threat to use them.
Tell us about this newly tested missile. What kind of capabilities does it have?
Well, it means that it's able to travel extremely long distances, as we've just noticed, that would go from Russia into the United States. They've already got a lot of existing weapons. They've got more weapons, in fact, than the Americans. So this is just further ornamentation as a way of trying to scare off people. But the Russia is already in a position to destroy the world several times over. Nuclear weapons are just going to make the rubble bounce a bit higher.
This threat has been brought about because of the issues in Ukraine. American Secretary of State Antony Blinken, their Defence Secretary Lloyd Austin, have visited Ukraine for the first time since the war broke out. Why has it taken them so long to get there? And will their visit inflame things with the Russians?
Oh, it's certainly going to inflame them. What is fascinating is that it's taken them a long time to get there because it's a country at war. You don't send your cabinet ministers to countries at war and risk their lives. What is interesting is Ukraine has actually, for the first time, advertised the arrival of VIPs. Traditionally, like Boris Johnson visiting Ukraine, you get pictures after he's been. But here they've actually announced ahead of schedule that they're going, almost defying the Russians, saying we're bringing in our allies and you can't deter us.
Oh. much. It's a high-stakes game. How worried should we be, Keith?
Very worried. It's going to continue to get worse and worse, and there's no clear end in sight.
У американцев таких ракет нет и никогда не было. Чем привлекателен Южный полюс?
А мы сразу знаем, куда ее запускать, да?
Ну, конечно.
Через Южный полюс, через Северный.
Речь идет,
У нас только одна цель.
Нет, речь идет, конечно, о территории, континентальной территории Соединенных Штатов.
Ну так, на секунду, эта ракета, если окажется там, где, в общем, она могла бы оказаться в худшем случае, способна уничтожить какого рода объекты, какие площади, территории?
Ну, я вам так скажу, что если 7,5 мегатонн будет доставлено на территорию, как говорится, нашего партнера,
Партнер очень важен.
да, то такие объекты, как город Нью-Йорк. Хороший город, но его не будет. Вообще.
Одной ракеты,
конечно. Совсем. Слово совсем. Вот. Поэтому лучше не надо.
Красивый
Американцы,
город.
кстати, всегда. Вот они всегда.
Behold, I have created the smith that bloweth the coals in the fire, and that bringeth forth an instrument for his work. And I have created the waster to destroy.